Hey there, welcome to My Green Pets. I'm William Green. I'm wearing gloves today because my fingernails are too long. But basically, yeah, the cool tent is filling up. I'm running out of space in here. Um, I heard some interesting information from Drew Martinez of Carnivoro at the Carnivorous Plant meet a couple weeks ago. Last weekend, I guess it was. And he said most all Pinguicula are actually highland plants, which was interesting because I've got them in my highland tent and they seem to be doing all right. You'll notice that I have increased the light intensity in here basically because this switch, you can set it to any percentage, but like I've noticed that it kind of flickers when I do that, so I just turned it off and let it just go at full intensity, and I think it's gonna be okay. Definitely seeing a little bit more pink in this Pinguicula moranensis, as well as on the Pirouettes. Little pink edges there. But I think the orchids, I think it's fine for the orchids and Nepenthes. I think the light it's not too much. We'll see. If it looks too much, I might have to do something. I think it's okay. But yeah, we got some good growth on this Cuitlauzina pulchella. I got this as a freebie at our Orchid Society back in May, I think. We've got root growth, and I think there's several roots growing over here. Oh yeah, there's one down here, and we got a couple more in here somewhere. Oh yeah, right there. So that's great. Maybe it'll even try to bloom. It's a pretty big plant. It had some scale on it a few weeks ago. I've been really watching it carefully, and any of the adjoining plants as well, to see if there's any scale. I found a couple on the stems of this Masdevallia, but haven't found any since. But still watching. It's got a new flower on it. Very nice. And it's working on some more up here. 1, 2, 3. It's gonna be pretty. This might actually go to the Denver show. Why not? It's kind of lanky and leggy, but it's pretty. This Brassia verrucosa. Look at this. That is doing great. And my Nepenthes over here. This guy's greening up. I'm wondering if the growth wasn't great because the medium was too wet in my Nepenthes. So I'm kind of backing off a little bit. Got a new Rhyncholaelia forming here, and a new verrucosa forming down here. Alright, let's head over to the big tent and see what else in bloom over there. I took some glamour shots of my Phalaenopsis philippinensis yesterday. Posted those. Such a lovely little thing. No fragrance, but that tracks pretty well with what I've read about this species. Other people have said no, not so much a fragrance. Beautiful leaves, beautiful flowers. What more could you want? Right next to it, we've got some action happening here on Bulbophyllum Lovely Elizabeth. It looks like one of the flowers is going to drop, that one in the back there. It always does that. It always kind of drops one. Might be dropping two, actually. That sucks. But anyway, that should be blooming pretty soon, and those last about a week. Behind that, we've got my Vanda falcata, Hakusan. Still looking nice, smelling very nice. I actually took it upstairs and put it on my bedside table a couple nights ago, and I could smell it all night long. It was like so nice. Over here we've got Bulbophyllum medusae. This is the album variety, meaning white flowers. I counted 8 or 9 spikes on this thing. I've moved it and kind of turned it so the spikes would go this way towards the light because I want them to hang over the edge of the pot. I don't want them to bloom inside the pot because then that's just not very nice. Here's my new bulbo, the rothschildianum red chimney. Don't expect any flowers on it, but would like those bulbs to plump up a little bit. Here's Hal, Bulbophyllum, echinolabium, watching Hal closely to make sure that, just see if he's doing better. It looks like the new leaf is nice and green compared to the old ones. Hopefully Hal's gonna do better. We've got random little flowers popping up everywhere on Bulbopyllum lepidum. Unfortunately, some of them that come out kind of low against the medium there, and that's no fun. I can actually see one in there heading downward. See that guy? I don't want you to go that way. There's one over here that is gonna be blooming out the way that it's supposed to, which is kind of hanging and looking nice that way. So, see a couple over there actually. But yeah, might have some in bloom for the Denver show, but I don't know if this will be if it will be displaying nice enough to actually take to the show. Oh, we've got some interesting stuff happening over here on my Bulbophyllum medusae Miami. Check this out. You see that? The tip of the bud seems to be breaking. That means it is starting to bloom. And that's awesome. I don't know if all of them, usually they all bloom at the same time, so we'll see what happens, but at least that one. Maybe the other ones will kind of follow shortly behind it. But again, I turned this plant so that they would go towards the light and we could get as much, bloom hanging off the edge as possible, because that's when it really looks cool. We'll see. Alright, last week I noticed that my Clowesia Rebecca Northen Aurora was starting to spike, and it's already pushed out two big ones. Really vigorous looking spikes. Look at that. It's not even technically September yet. I don't know why they do this. They just do. So that's great. None of the other Cloesias seem to be doing that, but they do have little bumps at the bottom. I'm kind of disappointed with this one. This is my Clowesia rosea. It has not done super well this year at all. It just kind of got, I don't know. And my other Clowesia was this. It was a new hybrid, Margolis. It just rotted and died. So it's possible something about the way that I water Cloesias they don't like, or at least the more delicate ones. I'm not quite sure what it is. Alright, let's get into the exciting stuff. Cycnoches Nebula. 2 new spikes on this guy. Looking good. And Cycnoches bronze Vixen over here, with a nice spike of 11 or 12, looks like. Wow, have a look at Fire Embers with 27 flowers on 3 spikes. Just obscene. The thing is so heavy, I've had to go to extreme measures to keep the pot from falling over. But that's going to be wonderful. And then next to it, look at this. Cooperi bronze. Looking amazing. Plenty of space underneath it for these to extend out. And I'm just hoping that that wire doesn't mess anything up. Okay. Alright, and of course, Cooperi Copper is really pushing it. I'm a little concerned that this plant might actually bloom before the Denver show and be done by the time the show starts. Wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, I've been looking at the pictures from last year, and the best guess I can make is that it's gonna bloom a few days before the show. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. But you know, if the flowers are starting to fade, you know, I'm not gonna take it. What's the point? Oh, this is interesting. We got some black here on the edge of this one. What's that from? Water? Fungus? Not sure. Down here in the Cattleya territory, I don't see anything actively pushing buds. I thought I saw something in the Cattleya maxima back here, but I don't see anything yet definitively pushing up. This Cattleya labiata, if we're really lucky, we might get to see a bloom in that in the next couple months, but it's kind of shaded down here, so it might not want to bloom. But we are definitely looking at a bud in the sheath of this Rhyncholaelia Aristocrat. And it's just one, but it's very pretty, and it smells good at night. Love those night fragrant plants. Yeah, towards the end of the season, I start to get these black tips on my Cattleya. I'm not quite sure where that's coming from. But anyway, look at this lineup. Looking pretty good, don't you think? And we really turned a corner here in the, 2 months ago. Nothing. Everything was just growing, and now there's tons of stuff in bloom or getting ready to bloom. Like it. I like it. I'm gonna show you a quick picture of my pumpkin. I have a Lumina pumpkin outside. I'm super excited. I've never been able to grow a pumpkin before, so the little busy little bees got in there and they pollinated it, and it is growing so fast. It's only day 2. The thing looks like it's doubled in size already. Anyway, thanks to everyone who left comments on the conversation between me and Steven about Cattleya Rex. As I watched through it, I'm like, oh man, I shouldn't have said that. Well, I should have said this differently. Well, this is kind of true, but so it's just kind of a snapshot in time of what I'm thinking at the moment. Steven called it a brain dump, mind dump. That's exactly what it was. But hopefully it's helpful, and hopefully I'll have some Cattleya Rex that will bloom, if not next year, maybe the year after. But I didn't have a single one bloom this year. We're kind of in an intermediate stage right now. And we're still figuring out the nutrition and the culture, getting everything perfect for those guys. Everything else is, expendable. But the Cattleya Rexes, they've got to be happy. Alright, well thank you very much for stopping by. I'm William Green, and we will see you next time right here on My Green Pets. Take care.